Hello everyone, I'm Bai. I'm e-commerce marketing expert at Omnisend, and today we're gonna continue the preparation for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And we're gonna be talking about the product recommender and how to use it to your advantage, getting ready for Black Friday campaigns, and even how to update your automations. And to help us with that, today we have two wonderful speakers. We have Mangidas and Matthias, who are our account experts at Omnisend, and it's their job to help our accounts to succeed. So no pressure, guys. And I would encourage everyone to use this opportunity and ask them questions. And Mangidas and Matthias, would you like to say hello?
Yes, definitely. I'll start. So hello everybody. I saw some Joe there, some Rita. Hello to you guys. And yes, we're gonna speak today about all product recommender, campaigns, automations, everything you may think of. And please, as always, just leave as many questions, comments, anything that is unclear there so we can, talk about it and hopefully help you with it too.
Yeah. Hey everyone, Mangidas here. Matthias said it very well. We're going to help you guys and also let us know where you're joining. I'm always reading the comments, so feel free. And I guess we can jump into our agenda.
Just one moment before we do that, a couple of things to know that this session is being recorded. Everyone will receive the recording in a couple of days. We will include the slides and all the resources we're going to share. And as we said, if you have any questions at any point, there's a Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen, so you can drop your questions in that, and then we will either stop and ask Matthias and Mangidas those questions, or we will wait till the end when we're going to have a Q&A session. So again, use this opportunity if you have any questions, maybe something needs to be clarified, maybe you have a specific use case that you want to ask about. Again, use this opportunity. And also we have customer support in the chat. They're real people, not AI, and they'll be happy to guide you through any other questions you might have about Omnisend. So everyone, again, enjoy the session, ask the questions, and Mangidas, Matthias, the stage is yours.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. And for the agenda today, we're going to talk about what Omnisend Product Recommender can actually do. So we'll talk about standard and personalized recommendations. How do they differ? Where you can apply both standard and personalized. Where to place it in automations, because it's crucial to understand, even if it's a good thing, it really matters for the placement, and how to take advantage of it in campaigns as well. Automations and campaigns serve different purposes, and it's important to understand both. And obviously, when not to personalize, because actually, there are times when you do not want to send personalized content, and it's important to go through that as well. So what it really means for the personalized product recommendations, you're going to show the right product, you're going to show it to the right person, and send it during the best and the right timing throughout the year, month, or whatever occasion it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be an occasion in general, it's just the right timing. You need to catch these customers. And yeah, what product recommender actually means. You can drag and drop content block, so it's really, really easy. We made it so simple that you'll be, I don't know, it would be a shame not to use product recommender in general. And obviously for standard strategies in terms of product recommender, you can use it for bestsellers, recently added, and most viewed products. There's also another thing that we quite recently introduced, and that's for the campaigns. For automations, it was available already, so you probably saw it, but campaigns got that uplift as well. So recently viewed by contact and similar to past purchases, which is really what drives the revenue up. And obviously, there's still some optional things you have to keep in mind, that limiting and excluding products by collection. You can also target different devices. And also there's opportunity for conditional visibility. So you can target only part of your customers to see a product recommender, and in general, email content. So yeah, keep that in mind.
So we're going to speak in more detail about all of the things that Mangidas just mentioned throughout the presentation, but just so you have an idea of what is coming next. One thing that I would like to start with, and I usually do this in every webinar, is just what must be checked already before you start even doing the personalized recommendations. So first of all, you have to make sure that your catalog is synced and the price are correctly synced too. Check that your events are flowing well. Check how they are passing through Omnisend. Check how they are being sent from your platforms. Check which triggers you're using in automations, if they are the correct ones, in case you're an API user, and also check what data is being passed throughout that event. What else? Also check the consistency of the images. Do the previews. Do the test. Checking different devices. Checking different inbox providers. Just see how it looks everywhere before you define a strategy, especially for automations, and also of course for campaigns. Just to know that eventually, if you leave it for reusing in the future, or in the case of an automation, if you leave it live for a long time, you are sure that it's going to perform well for every single output that you have set to be. Also, review your inventory. Check that you're not promoting or suggesting products that are out of stock that you don't currently have, or similar situations. And of course, try to constrain all categories that you don't want to show in recommendations. Yes, it should be a strategy in the end. It should be something that you have thought before. And you may have ideas of what you want to show, what you want to suggest, what you probably want to avoid suggesting in case you're offering some discount or whatever. So just check all of these before you even start doing or inserting the product recommendations. Continuing with this. Wait a second, a little technical issues. Yes. So another thing that we have to be looking is some guardrails to protect how your customers are experiencing your product recommendations. For instance, exclusions, checking recently purchased products, things that you may have in the recent time. Category constraints, as I said before, keep it relevant. Try not to show something that is completely unrelated to what the customer is seeing. Try to show always things that might have some relation to it, so that they are actually end up purchasing. And probably if it's an upsell or a cross-sell automation, just that also makes sense. Price banding, also just try to keep, of course, when you are suggesting something to a customer, try not to show something that might be extremely expensive compared to what they were looking at, or extremely cheap on the other hand too. Try to understand what is the product that they looked, where is it located within the price range, and try to show things that are similar to that too. What else? So, and the frequency also, of course, as we said before, not everything needs a personalized recommendation. Sometimes we need the manual work to be done instead. And just to set up the frequency, know where to put it. And we're going to talk about it, of course. I'm going to start myself with automations. So this, in most cases, is going to be something that is already by default. If you have chosen a template from Omnisend and you're just working on top of it, it's already going to be pretty much set up for you. You don't really have to do much. But just to keep in mind how it works, what are the tools that you have in it, I'm just going to give you a tour over the most popular automations, where you should be thinking of putting a product recommender, and what kind of settings you should leave it with. We're going to start with these 7 automations: the welcome series, the browse abandonment, cart abandonment, post-purchase automations, cross-sell, replenishment reminders, reordering automations, win-back and reactivations, and also optionally back in stock or any kind of automation that has this logic. So let's start with the welcome series. Where would we place recommendations here? First of all, I put here also as optional, because in many cases I wouldn't recommend to put by default product recommenders in the welcome flow. Most of the times the customers will just want the discount that they have signed up for, or whatever offer that they have set up in the form, and then to apply it to the purchase that they already had in mind. But it could be an opportunity, just think of it this way, to upsell, to increase the size of the cart, to add other elements that probably the customer was not thinking about. So you can be strategic here. As always, I will suggest to A/B test everything. If you're not sure, you don't think, I don't want to include anything in my welcome series, just test it, show it to 10% of your customer base, and see if that actually converts better, if it ends up having higher order average, that the ones that don't suggest any other kind of products, if instead of purchasing one single product, they end up purchasing 2 or 3. So just check on these things. And of course, it's a nice place to start adding things. As always, also, I would always recommend to have sequences of emails and automations that are more than one single touch point. If you leave it at one touch point, you are risking lose a lot of sales. In the first one, you can, for instance, in this case, start proposing the recently viewed. Of course, they just assigned them to your list. They were looking at some products, so that's what you want to jump as if it was a browse abandonment kind of automation. Yeah, so you were looking at this. Here's your discount. You can just click on it and go back to the product and just finish your purchase with the discount that you already have. The second email, if they haven't purchased yet, if the exit condition has been set to place purchase, you can start showing some category samplers, showing some other categories that they haven't visited before. And in the email 3, you can already start showing your social proof and probably some new arrivals in case you are spreading your flows throughout a longer term. Moving on to the browse abandonment. Here you can see in the pictures what are the recommended settings that I would have in a browse abandonment flow. So I would recommend the recently viewed products in the personalized recommendations, or if not, if you don't have those, or in general, if you want to set up a fallback option, the best-selling products. Yes. So product view in this case is the trigger. Yes. I would use a hero here of the exact product that they have used, the abandoned product, a big image of it. And then, of course, start suggesting something that is either recently viewed or similar to last purchases to the people that has the personalized recommendations, or the best-selling products or recently added products for people that have the standard recommendations. Moving on to the, here also, yes, the fallback, as I said before. To post-purchase automations or cross-sell automations, here you can also see in the picture and what I would recommend to set up here. So similar to last purchases in personalized recommendations, and a fallback of recently added products, because this is after some time. Yes, so the customer maybe have received the email after months after they place the order. So maybe you have some new products that could be similar to that one. Maybe you have some new collections that could be consecutive to the one that you were selling before. So that's why I also added here the little box of recommender options. That is something just to remind you of the features that we have inside of the product recommender. Yes. For instance, here, as I put, complete the set with constraint to complementing items. So here you can set up a specific categories that and this will be a configuration of a more complex configuration of your automation. So if you know that they purchase item A, you know exactly which category B you're going to be suggesting to those people, and then split and keep suggesting specific categories to specific audiences, and hoping that you manage to upsell with a lot of care and not just randomly showing products to people that may have no interest in them. Yes, and of course, always try to use by the third emails, by the consecutive emails after the second, some user-generated content, something that is a proof of your value, of your brand, and always accompanied with a product recommender. For replenishment, reminders or reorder flows, if you are running any of this, I think is very important. First of all, to remember that you can use here always the previously purchased product. If you are using any of our templates from replenishment reminders in Omnisend, you will by default have in that email the product that was purchased some time ago. So then you can just, on top of that, add a product recommender suggesting, products that were similar to that one that they purchased, or in this case, the best-selling products, because normally when it comes to replenishment reminders, you know exactly the category that is probably going to require these, constant purchasing throughout the year. So again, the trigger order fulfilled, I recommend you to go to your customer breakdown tab inside of the audience in Omnisend and check how often are your customers coming back and purchasing again, and use that data as a reference of when am I going to poach them once more to purchase once again, and then of course include the product recommender here. And try to use what we're showing here in the screenshots. Yes, this is by default. The line items that I show you in this screenshot is by default added when you select the template for replenishment in the Omnisend templates for automations. Yes. Once again, the hero, the item that is due to reorder, and then the recommendations that I'm showing here, similar to past purchases and best-selling products. Yes. In win-back and reactivation flow, which I would say it's kind of similar. Of course, it doesn't mean that it's a recurrent purchase, but it means that it has been some time since they purchased the last time. So we are gonna again poach them with products that are similar to the ones that they purchased before. If not, we're gonna show them some that we have added lately. Yes, this is kind of the strategy here because we want to know. To show them something new that we had and maybe some new collection in case some time has passed. And of course, once again, I would recommend you to do a splits and category recommendations based on these previous purchase that they have made. Yes, here, since it's a reactivation or win back, it's going to be for a segment that hasn't purchased in a while, that is not really engaging with you. So as you see, it's a long period of time, starting from 60 to 180 days since the last purchase. So make sure that you consider what is happening within this time inside of your brand and what's happening with your business, what other products have you added, and keep that in mind when you're adding the product recommender inside of this. Once again, similar to last purchases, any category that you have that you think could be of interest, like discounted categories and so on, and the fallback always the recently added here. And the last one that is optional, just the back in stock automation, in case you're already suggesting them the item that they were due to purchase because they have registered for the back in stock here, to show them that the product is restocked. The hero should have that product there. But of course, you are also here running the possibility of adding extra products to their cart. Yes, in this case, it could be some accessories for the product. Yes, so similar to the product that you're about to purchase, or in general, anything that could make sense to promote with the product that they have registered for. So again, in the automation, I would suggest splits. I would suggest a lot of testing also. Just take into consideration that all of these are suggestions from my end. But my biggest recommendation always will be to A/B test every single option to see, okay, recently viewed products, this one looks good for me, but maybe I'm gonna put it against the previously purchased products and see what works better for you. Every brand is different, every audience is different. So testing, I think, is a must for every occasion. So yes, here is just a little bit of a blueprint or an idea of how your email should look. Mangerdas is going to give you a deeper context when he's speaking about campaigns, but here just to a very quick understanding of what you should be looking out for. First off is the hero. Yeah, on top, just always try to include the product, either the abandoned product. This is by default in every template, but if you're building your templates from zero, always include a hero with either the abandoned product or the previously purchased product or whatever was already in your customer's mind. And then use the suggestions to complement it, either for accessories, for cross-selling, upselling, for increasing the cart value, and so on. Yes, keep in mind the visibility, as I said before, preview and test. Mangelas is going to talk a little bit more, and we're going to also go a little bit more into these details. But keep in mind how it looks in a mobile, how it looks in a PC, how is the layout. Maybe I'm going to prepare a different one. Keep in mind that yes, you can have a different product recommender for both mobile and desktop, so you can have two set up at the same time, and configure them in a way that is comfortable and nice and good for the customer to look at it when they are checking in either device. Yes. Always the category constraint strip above the footer. So before they go and see the whole email, you can add a little strip here suggesting a specific category that you are always wanting to promote. Yes, so it could be either your best-selling products or some new collection that you have added. It could be a manual listing in this case. Just something that you can always have there in those emails as an extra, protection when the customer is not interested in anything that you're suggesting. There are the things that are performing the best for you, or that you want to get rid of, or that are very valuable for customers, and you can include them in above the footer all the time, just so that you will see there in the click maps, or you will see there in the click rate if people is actually clicking on it and it actually highlights some interest. You can A/B test it again and compare it to an email that doesn't have this kind of strip. Yes. And again, for mobile, try to always use one column and large tab targets. This means just one single product per row. So just try to keep it that way, and to make it very comfortable for the user experience, since most of the people is going to be opening in a mobile. Yes. Finishing then with, yes.
Before we move on, I quickly wanted to jump in and just add a little bit more emphasis on mobile as well, because as we're preparing for Black Friday, there are stats that say during Black Friday, even for abandoned cart flows and not just campaigns, there is an increase in mobile usage, meaning people are checking even their abandoned cart emails on their phones. So that's why we might think, oh, campaigns should be optimized for mobile always, yes. But then we tend to neglect the automations. Whereas now, as we're ramping up to Black Friday, I would highly, highly advise to go and check your optimizations for mobile in your automations as well.
Definitely. And to add up on that, just to know that your automations are always running. Yes, your campaigns, you can always come back and do a new thing every week, do a new thing every time you send the campaign, but the automation is always going to be running. So the recommendation and this outside of product recommender and everything is set them up very well. And then you can forget a little bit about them until we can do something more interesting with any update that we have on top. So it's good that Bai had that comment on this slide, so you had some time to check a little bit of a summary of everything we talked. Just so that you can take a screenshot of in the later when you get the presentation. Just check this slide. It can give you some quick idea when you're configuring things. What is the recommendation I'm gonna use? What is the fallback that I'm most potentially gonna use? And of course, A/B tested against what your best common sense is trying to tell you, what you understand from your audience, and what is the previous history of your contacts telling you too. So yes, based on that, just hear this slide just for you to remember all the settings that you have inside of a product recommender. Yes, you're not limited to the things that we have said, but this is a lot. There's a lot of things that you can do inside of a product recommender. First, starting with what we already said, what are you going to recommend? Either it's going to be the personalized recommendations, the fallback option. In case you're showing the best-selling products, you can choose the time range of where you're selecting the best-selling products from. The layout type, these specifically just understand that is very valuable when you're configuring different versions for mobile and desktop. The number of products to show, the columns, the way it looks, is it going to be to the left, to the right, just so that you can test as much as possible and preview and see what looks the best. And then all these other options that you see in the last picture to the right, the recommender options. What are you going to show from the product? The product details, you're going to show the price, are you going to show the description? Are you going to keep it simple? Are you not going to show the price? That could also be something that you can try to do. Mobile stacking, the visibility on devices, what is going to be seen in each of them. Padding and even colors. So remember that you have all of these settings to configure. It's not just what you've seen so far, and don't forget to at least check each of them and see, oh, this does this thing that I didn't know, and you can have a better version of what you were doing before. Moving on, we have campaigns.
Yeah, and here's where I'll jump in again. Hey guys, if you miss me. And there were some really, really good points in terms of what Matthias mentioned for the automations. And thank you, Bai, for jumping in, because what was happening in my head, and in general, I think that we do not work on the mobile visibility and layouts enough. And keep in mind that what happens when you wake up, you have your phone open. And it's the first thing. You're not going to check your email through your desktop device. Really, it's the mobile first. So that's why you have to make sure that everything's really visible for the customer. And not only in the automations for campaigns too. And I guess in terms of campaigns, I just want to let you know that you're sitting on a gold mine and you have to use it. You definitely have to use it. Like 20 years ago, marketers would do many things to get this information that you currently have access to. So please use it. And we're going to talk about how easy it is to use it. And dynamic and personalized content is made simple by Omnisend. And we're allowing you to just taking it, dragging into your email. Voila, that's it. You need to adjust it obviously based on what you want to provide. But as you can see in the screenshot right here, it's as simple as clicking, similar to past purchases, recently viewed products. There's obviously some depth to it if you really want to, but if you just want to try it, we made it very simple for you. just try it out. I'm going to emphasize most of my agenda on just at least trying it out. So recently viewed products and similar to past purchases is the personalizations. You can also include the static ones that are not as personalized, and we'll come to that as well, where it's important to use those. And yeah, just add them in seconds. And what's good for with product recommendations is obviously we're going to go through different type of emails where you can use those, and promotions obviously bread and butter of campaigns, and it's no different with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Halloween. It definitely helps with the seasonality. So seasonal sales emails automatically inserts items that customer browse, which can really help you increase the relevance of the email and the higher CTRs that are going to come out of the outcome of the personalizations. So as you can see, you can add the hero image, which Matthias also talked about, hero image at the top. I'm really big fan of it. And also in Q4 and in general, we're moving to more round images and more round layouts for the email. So I recommend trying it out as well alongside the product recommendations. And if we go to the next slide right here, you'll see how easy it is to drop. So I have a short GIF. You click add elements, you go to product recommender, and you drag it out. That's it. Voila. it's as simple as it can be. And yeah, I don't know what would be the reason for you not to try it, because it just allows you to target your customers. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. What would you like to see? Is it something that you already were searching for? Probably yes. Or products that you purchase and show similar products to that. Just because you like something, you purchase something. It's most likely that you're going to search for something similar in the future. But obviously, it is optional. You have to take into the account your business, how it works, if you have many products, if you have few products only. So it's really case by case basis, but there's opportunity for everyone to try it and use it. One more thing that you
Andrew,
can.
I'll just jump in to add on to what you just said. Again, going back to the preparation for Black Friday, we know that a lot of people will be window shopping and shopping for the best
Mm,
deals. So even if they liked something on your store, it doesn't mean they're gonna remember it. So by showing them something that they just browsed, you remind them, oh yeah, they had that item. Because I don't remember what I browsed yesterday. So if a brand can remind me, hey, you looked at this, then I can start thinking, oh, yes, I did. And then, you're top of mind for that person again. So that's when you said promotions. I was like, yes, like I need help remembering that, especially during Black Friday when shopping for deals as well.
Exactly. People are looking for deals throughout many different websites. They are searching for exact products and they're looking at them, and you're getting that data and you can use that in the email. So reminding people about that particular product, it's definitely very, very valuable. And yeah, myself, I'm browsing through Amazon, through Etsy, through eBay everywhere during Black Friday because I'm searching for the best deals. And it's important to show these deals again to the customer because they definitely forget about it. It's like thousands of products that they are
Definitely.
going to.
And think about the seasonality too, like what Bai is saying. If Black Friday is coming up, and you are definitely gonna be showing, the abandoned products or the browse products in automations.
Yep.
Yes, you are. But what if that same product that comes with the email campaign that says 50% off in everything, and they see that product that they were browsing on before in the campaign because it's now added in the product recommender, and they remember, it's not longer just an abandoned cart automation. Is the offer that they're coming, and is the product that I wanted to buy. I know now that it's in a sale. I'm gonna probably go and purchase it now. So you give them the option to come back and, as Bai said, remember where we're looking at things because they probably saw in 25 pages and they're receiving 100 emails. So they're gonna remember exactly where they saw it and where they want to purchase one.
Yep. That's a very, very good point. I'm
And
happy to
I'm
have
just
colleagues like you.
gonna And I'm just going to clarify for Greg, we were talking about promotional emails that we send, the
Mm,
campaigns, and how to include product recommender. So it's not two different things, it's just the campaigns and how to
mm.
include product recommender. Just clarifying that.
Yeah, thanks, why. There's also new arrivals campaign, so you can launch it very much smarter and show what's most relevant for the customers. So for example, as you can see, new arrivals, back in stock campaigns, when you have new products, when you have stock replenish for the products, you can use similar to last purchase recommendations, which can really help. Because if I'm looking for a hoodie that has different variants, just different colors or different prints, but I like the hoodie in general. Maybe I like the texture. So it really makes sense for you to show these similar products to the last purchase. Yeah, it's. I guess there's not that much that I can add to this one because it's fairly straightforward as it is, and it's also a small introduction how you can use it in the new arrivals campaign. You can see that a lot of functionality for the product recommender. Best-selling products, you can change it to recently viewed products and the fallback option as well. Once again, emphasizing that it's really not that hard. And what you can do on the right, you'll see choose who can see this block as well. Keep in mind that there is also layers to the emails. You can target specific customers. If you have a specific group that purchase hoodies, if you have specific group that purchase or didn't purchase in a long time, its opportunity are they are endless. Opportunities are endless with this. So I'm encouraging you to, just like Matthias said, try do A/B tests and see what really works for your brand. Because yes, in general, there's a lot of flexibility, but at the end of the day, you'll know what's working the best after you try everything out.
And if it leads you to even segment more your campaigns and segment more the people that you're sending to, it's even better, because even though you have to spend a little more time in both things, you're going to see much better results with a little bit less, impact there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually segmentation will help you down a long way. And what I'm going to talk about as well, content plus commerce. And this one I really, really like just because it doesn't look like a sales email at all. Look at it. It's just a dog eating dog food and it looks beautiful. The email itself, it doesn't look promotional at all, but you can make the email look so deceiving in a way that it's not an upselling, not trying to sell anything to the customer, but just mixing that editorial content. Hey, this particular, for example, for this one, this is a special dog food that was made with certain additives that are natural, etc. Just something about the product being unique, and then showing more of that brand in particular, maybe just personalization for the customers that purchase dog food in the last 30 days. You can do all of this with segmentation, with product recommender. And it does, the benefit is that it definitely feels more less salesy and more customer centric. So, I mean, I prefer it. Even if I'm a cat person, I would definitely enjoy getting this email. But yeah, and also another infographic how to do it. It's just dragging in product recommender, and under products recommend, just add similar to past purchases. So for all the dog food enjoyers, I'm not talking about people, about the dogs. Keep in mind, or people, we don't judge, we don't discriminate. But yeah, it's really easy. Once again, my purpose today is to make sure that you'll try it. So I'm just repeating and repeating myself until you'll try it, and I'll know. So yeah, we also have best practices checklist, which will help you understand if you're doing a good job implementing the product recommender. So make recommendations work harder. Think about it before you do them. What are you trying to achieve with the email itself? And then try to apply all the possibilities that we are offering, and place a product recommender below the hero section. So make the hero image pop in the email. Let's let people focus on that image, make it beautiful, and then show 2 to 4 products. If it's mobile, try 1, obviously, and add urgency drivers. So this can also help, like in a FOMO sense. Keep in mind that you have test middle versus end. Try adding it in the middle, split the audience, add it at the end, and also send that email, look how it performs, and use Clickmaps, which will really help you to understand if it's going well or it's not going that well, and make you further adjustments, make you help doing further adjustments. And obviously keeping it fresh. So everything has to come in moderation. Even the recommendations can be boring after you see them a lot of the times in a row. And if I'm not going to browse anything else in the store and I'm going to get all the same products, if you're using the same recommendation, please keep in mind that you have to switch up the content, and diversity is the way to go here.
Exactly. I would expect the recommendations to be as different as every single email should be. So if I'm receiving 3 campaigns a week from the same brand, I would expect the content to be different, and hence the recommendations also to be different, because you are also exploring your customer. You're also exploring their interest. You're exploring with the Clickmap what they actually cut from what you send. So based on that, you can adjust, go to the next email, and try that again. But yes, keep it fresh.
I think you can think about an email as a two-way conversation. Even if customer does not reply to you, you see the engagement data, you see the opens, the clicks, they are communicating back to you and letting you know what is really working and what we want to see. So consider that as a dialogue between you and the customer. Just try to think from their own perspective. What do they want to see?
Definitely. We're going to check later also what are the metrics that you should be looking at in case of anything. Yes, in case you start implementing the product recommenders, what are the metrics you should be looking out? And yes, a couple more things. I think you have some comments on this.
Yeah, I do actually. So for brands that are using Omnisend's product recommender, it's not just out of thin air. We did some tests and we have some data for it. So obviously disclaimer that it's for the brands that are sending more than 50K emails in a single campaign. Keep that in mind. It's important. So they saw a increase for click-through rates by 5.5% and also 2.8% conversion rate. So it definitely scales and scales a lot. And it's not going to be only for the brands that are sending so many emails. I'm sure that it's going to work as well for you, but it's up to you for try it out.
If you're new to email marketing, 2.8% is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is.
Sounds like a little, but it is a lot.
And do it now. So once again, drag, drop, and that's done. It's very simple. Open the campaign editor, add a product recommender block, and see your results grow. And we're going to talk about how to track the results to understand if it's working for you. And I'm sure it is, just in what sense it's growing.
Perfect. So now we move on when not to use. This is not a prohibition. We're not telling you to stop doing stuff, but of course, where you should think twice about putting a product recommender. Yes, there are things that don't need it. Yes, it's as Manga said, such an easy tool. You just drop it there and it's doing the job for you. You don't have to do anything. But there are sometimes when you actually have to do the job for better results. So in those cases, when to avoid it? When we don't have a lot of data about our customers, when the list is very fresh, we don't know what they have been purchasing. We don't want to abuse it. We want to be very strategic about what we're going to show, how are we going to grow the brand for a new list, for a new customer, somebody that doesn't or haven't heard of us for a long time, let's say. So you're going to start thinking better about where you want to use this product and how do you want to use them. If you have a very narrow inventory, as Mangada said also in the campaigns, if you don't have many products and they are going to keep looping in and repeating every single time you send a campaign or an automation, then maybe just think that the best approach for you is to personalize and to just make manual listings and just show the products that you need to sell, the product that you think is a complement. Maybe there are businesses that are doing millions in sales just selling 1 or 2 products, and one is the product that they're going to sell and the second is the accessory that's coming with it. So just think about it this way and think that if you don't have so many products, you have 10 products, maybe it's not the best thing to use the product recommender, but be very, very strategic about it. And of course, about compliance, always be compliant, always keep in consideration every regulation. And of course, if you know that you're likely to run out of stock very quickly, if you know that that's a product that is going to try to, be very, very responsible with it. Show it to your VIPs first, send it to that segment, use the feature of the personalized content for that. Your VIPs are going to see it first. They're going to purchase it, and then, of course, the rest I'm going to spread with the rest of the other contacts. But just so that you can keep that loyalty. If you have loyal customers, be responsible with them. Try to show them first. Try to be strategic about it. Try to think of them first too. Also, what else? When is it going to be the best to use the manual product listing? I'm going to repeat myself here a little bit, but if you're launching something, if it's a lookbook, you probably want to make it look like an email that is responding to that specific, launch. You have a new product here, and maybe it has these extra products that are complementing it, or these extra products that are. So then maybe just keep it there. Be responsible with it. You don't want to, show a bicycle where somebody was browsing a sweater or something like this. So just keep it a little bit more simple when you're launching something, and it's important for people to focus on that. When you're, having a gift guide or a bundle, you don't want to mix things that don't go together again. Again, when you're thinking from the artistic perspective of your campaign, when you think that design goes first, which for many brands it is, when you're thinking that in the end, the shape talks better than the content in your case. So then stick to manual listing, stick to, in many cases, even pictures instead of blocks that contain text and stuff like this. So just make it your own. Don't force it. Of course, if you're going to add a product recommender, adjust it to your liking. Don't leave it as it is. Know that there's settings to adjust the layout, what it shows, the size of the buttons, the padding, and so on. So just keep in mind that these are things that you can edit and alter. Now we have the setup and QA. I think you have some questions here too.
Yeah. So for enabling and configuring a quick walkthrough for you guys, you have to choose an automation or add the product recommender block. If it's a campaign, then you have to choose the logic. If it's going to be either personalized or standard, so it's up, just like Matthias told, the differences between personalized and standard, just keep them in mind when creating, and always set a fallback strategy, because sometimes you need it. You need it when there's no products that customers recently viewed, for example, if it's a personalized recommendation. And also, what's really optional is limiting the products by collection, excluding products, or hiding the products that were recently bought. And obviously, save as content block or template for reuse. So you are not going to spend some more time creating and recreating it again, even if it doesn't take a lot of your time. You're going to save it even more, because at this day and age, it's just a matter of time for everyone, and we're trying to save as much as we can. And with that, you're going to save quite a lot of it. And obviously the QA checklist before going live, what you have to do, and testing the real sense. So automation previews can show placeholders, keep that in mind, but tests are always necessary. I recommend doing that for every single email, because accidents happen. You might mistype something, or the products are not showing up, or whatever the reason might be. You always have to double check, and especially before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the most important seasons for most of the e-commerces, just for your own.
Yes, if you have a very, very important email, don't just rely, as it says here on the preview.
Send it to your friends. Send it to your mom, to your dad.
To your
Allow
boss,
them to check, to
anybody.
Yeah, and wait for the feedback.
And ask them to open it in different devices, ask them to open it in different inbox, gather that feedback and build something that works the best for most scenarios.
Yep. What also is important, verifying the links. That's why where you're doing the tests, you also check the links if they're landing on the correct product pages, because if there will be a product that leads to a broken page, we definitely do not want that. So keep in mind and check that as well. Check the device-specific blocks, which is really important. What Matthias told, what I've been telling you, mobile rendering is really different than desktop, and always keep it short with the mobile. And I would recommend for the product recommendations, keep it to the one product per line. It's just not going to overwhelm the customer, and it's going to look beautiful in the emails. And we do it on a daily basis. We are checking hundreds of emails every single day. Our clients are sending thousands of emails, millions actually, I think, even.
Definitely.
So I would trust this guy as well with my email marketing strategy. So listen to Matthias as well. And validate your inventory. Keep in mind if you're sending emails around products that are the best sellers that you have, and you're also showing them in the email, and you basically have one hero product. Keep in mind that if it's going to be out of stock, customers won't be happy.
Unless your strategy is to show scarcity, then be strategic about it. Say there's one, and you can be the one person having it. Just there's always the two sides of the coin. You either use it as an opportunity,
first
but
come, first serve.
Exactly, you have to be responsible about it, I believe.
Yeah, but you can also create FOMO around it and do the launches like drops like Supreme had in the day. But yeah, also confirm the pricing and compare if it matches your products, so everything is intact. And I think you have some experiments for us to run.
Just a couple of ideas, as always, to end the presentation. So first of all, I'm also going to share you where you're going to be looking at the success of your experiments. Yes, in this case, we're going to think about placement test. Mangidas was talking about this in campaigns. Like, let's say we're going to put it in the middle of the email, or we're going to make it in the footer strip. Are we going to make it a long email like this, or are we going to make it a short one with horizontal product recommendations? 3 upgrade versus 1x3 in a mobile, and recommended for you a micro copy, or just the recommendations plain like that, nothing about personalization or a text or a copy in there, but just telling them this is the product, that's it. And here where you'll be looking at is as the click-through rate, the order rate, how many people is actually ordering, and see what's the difference between version A and version B. Then what else we can test is the logic test. The personalized, as we said before, you can go standard versus personalized and see what works better. There is no definitive answers for any of this. Of course, personalized will see an increase in the most general case, but it might be a brand that is working better with standard. Yes, it could be. And then think about, of course, where are you placing them? Maybe I'm placing them ones in the first email, others I'm placing in the second email. This is all kind of A/B tests that you can be running here. Use different kind of considerations, and of course the success metric here will be the orders. Again, you can say in this case per 1,000 cents, it doesn't matter. It's really about the average that you're sending usually, and trying to understand if it makes a difference. You're gonna see pretty much clearly if it actually makes a difference. It's gonna be some jump, and you're going to notice in numbers what is making the difference. In the case of campaigns, check the click maps of each of them every time you send them, every version of them, and see what actually started to make a difference. And of course, once you have finished one test, don't stop there, test another thing. Yes, until you find the one that is unbeaten by any other version that you have prepared of that email. Keep testing, keep trying new things. If you have a lot of options, try them all. Don't stick to one because you believe is the best until you have tested it. Do that proof of concept, especially what we were saying before. You had already the chance, and you still have a little bit of a chance to keep testing without that much risk. But yes, so that once the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday is on the time, on due date, you have the perfect setup already established, and you don't have to do anything about it. Some friction tests. This is more about what are you going to show? This is more strategic, yes. Are you going to show the price? Maybe your products are good enough for them to just click on them and then check the price and be like, okay, it doesn't matter, I'm going to purchase it. I don't need to see the price on the email. I just want to see the product. Use these kind of strategies, include some reviews, use some extra, motivation that you can have your customers to purchase. And yes, just keep an eye then on all the metrics that were suggested in the slide. And when it comes to measurement and reporting, these are some KPIs that you're going to be looking at from now on.
Yeah, so KPIs to track. It's been a long day. Yeah. So, for automations, what you have to notice is the revenue %, conversion rate, and average order value. For campaigns, we definitely recommend looking at the Clickmap because you're making the most changes in terms of layout. And it really helps you understand if the product recommender is the one thing that they are clicking more right now. since you introduce it, or it's going to focus your customer's attention to other side of the email, which is important to understand. And across, opt-out rate lift when adding blocks should not rise. So definitely, if you're adding the product recommender and you see that there's a rise for opt-outs, it might be due to different things. You have to take into account obviously other factors, but you have to track most of the metrics, and you'll notice that open rates is not one of the things right here to rely on, and it's just revenue percent and conversion rate on these ones. Obviously, open rates will increase together with all of these. And benchmarks, which are directional, you can, on the right, you'll see a small filter that you can try and use and compare, for example, different time frames of the customers who have started checkout, or maybe you can also add specific campaigns in the filters, so they have received that particular campaign, and if they started checkout and send a very similar campaign but without product recommender or not personalized product recommender, do some more testing. You have to understand what your customers like. Maybe they don't even like the personalization content, which is also could be the case. But it's only for you to find out, and the only way to find out is to do the test. So it does usually lift the revenue and helps you to maintain the customers for a longer time versus the static content that we usually see in the emails, unfortunately. And yeah, highest impact flows, you can also check these, which will give you a better understanding if the added directions help you with increasing the revenue and all of the other metrics that we talked about.
One thing, speaking about the automations there, and before we finish, just know that now we are also telling you which of your automations are using those personalized recommendations and which ones could use a boost. Yes, if you have this notification inside of your automation tab, just make sure you follow up on it, check on it, see what's suggested, and just listen to what the platform is already advising you in case you have these notifications there.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it from us, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. There was so much. And there are people are thanking you in the chat. They're saying great job as well. So absolutely, like there's so much value in that. And if anyone has any questions for Mangirdas and Matthias, now is the time to type it out. And while people are taking the time, I have a question for you. So I am very excited about this feature. We have Black Friday coming up. Now you shared all these ideas and all the logic, and I'm already lost. I'm like paralyzed by all the things. I've seen the slides. What should I do? Like, if I feel overwhelmed, I have other things to do with my business as well. I really want to try out this feature because I've seen the conversion rate increase. I've seen other metrics. So how do I implement this feature without overwhelming myself, but still hopefully seeing an uplift in the outcomes? What would be your advice?
So for my end, I would say, first of all, if you don't want to overwhelm yourself, most definitely you already are using some recommendation inside of automations, I'm pretty sure. So just maybe if you have never done it before, instead of thinking, okay, I'm going to take everything that they told me right now and check it, just check it for yourself without having that context in mind. Be like, okay, I'm going to check all the settings. What am I doing? Just by your intuitive common sense, be like, okay, maybe I don't like it this way. Or maybe you have never done a preview and test before. You just send the emails out. These kind of things that you don't really need to come back and check on all the things that we have said and tell you to test and check, but more of like, what am I doing currently? See your situation, address everything that, immediately. I think things will come up to your head like, oh, okay, I'm seeing how am I doing things right now. And now I know that I have these other things in mind. So I'm just going to test them and play around with them. You don't really have to come and implement things, but just check what you have doing currently and try to make the best of those things. And then up top, once you see that you have more time, once the Black Friday is over or whatever, you can, of course, come and revisit and go in depth and start rebuilding automations, rebuilding emails. And in campaigns, I would say the same thing. Yes, just in this case, I think is a matter of giving it a first try. Maybe try it with a very, very, good segment Like your best purchasers try them the best, the people that purchase definitely the most engaged customers, send it to them at the beginning, be like, okay, I'm just gonna test it out right now, see how it works. And then I think the numbers are gonna convince you to keep using it or not. You're gonna see a difference and be like, okay, I should keep doing this and try it with a wider audience.
Yeah, and if I can add my 2 cents for this one, I understand where the question comes from. Why, in particular? It's you don't have enough time in the day to do all of the things. You can't make everything perfect. So you have Google ads, you have Facebook ads, you have business to run. We definitely understand. And that's why we try to make it as simple as possible. It's not going to take a lot of your time. And if you don't have an idea how can I apply this or how can I start? It's very simple. You just drag, drop, and leave it there and see the results go, because that's definitely, I mean, we never saw a decrease in engagement, so I'm sure that it's not going to happen. But just make it simple, do one thing at a time. If you don't have enough time, it's not mandatory to make all of your flows with personalized recommendation. Just one thing at a time, and it's going to get easier for sure.
And the platform is going to be there to remind you what you haven't done. So if you didn't do something today, maybe tomorrow you can come back and be like, okay, one is done, this one is not done, and I have there the information telling me that I haven't done it. So definitely, I mean, you can come back to that.
And also check the slides. You'll have a checklist in the slides, which will make your life easier.
There's a lot of things in the slides that you can come back to and just refer to.
Yeah.
Amazing. And if anyone has any questions about it, maybe you tried setting it up, maybe you're a little bit fumbled about how to set it up, you can contact our customer support. They're available 24/7. They'll be happy to guide you, especially if it feels like a new feature to you as well. And I just wanted to add to what you guys said. In my practice, if I'm really overwhelmed, best sellers is the recommender to go by, because those best-selling products are best-selling for a reason. And that's just kind of like my saving grace. If I'm ever like, I don't know what to do now, I'm lost, then I can just drag and drop, get the best sellers out there.
Yep. That's
Alrighty.
Agreed.
John is saying he's convinced and he will try out the product recommender. So
John, we'll be waiting to hear your results.
We'll be checking John in Omnisend.
Yeah.
We'll be searching for John.
Amazing. So I'm looking at a time. We will wrap this up. Again, everyone will receive the recording in a couple of days. You'll get the slides so you can go through them at your own pace. And if you have any questions at any point, contact our customer support. They're available through email, in app. Just drop us your questions. I'll be happy to answer those. Guys, thank you so much for being here again. And I cannot wait to have you again. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Vi. Thank you,
pleasure, guys.
Everyone, and hope to see you guys again too.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.